Hello everyone, this is part 16 of What If Naruto Failed and Chose a Different Path, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. It had been one whole week since the group left Wave Country on the newly completed bridge now named the Great Naruto and Slade Bridge, after Naruto and Slade. Shino had been informed of the truth behind the battle with Kyuubi, and the reason behind why almost everyone hates Naruto in Konoha. It was interesting to see the bug use's reaction to the news as his hair and skin both went a deathly white. Fortunately, both of them went back to normal and Shino came to a logical conclusion that if the Kyuubi, or rather Slade, was a threat along with Naruto, they could have made the vengeance known to Konoha prior to the mission to Wave. Slade and Naruto were glad the boy was a logical thinker and saw things the way the fourth Hokage wanted. With that settled, Shino would receive secret training during the 1-week travel back home to Konoha on the Mantis Taijutsu style. You're coming along well, my boy. Just remember to teach what I have been giving you to your father so he receives the style as well. The more who know this style in your family the better, said Slade as he dodged a fist that hit a tree instead of his face, making the tree splinter. It went on like that until the day that they reached Konoha early in the morning, with all current party members going to see the Hokage. After the debriefing of the events that took place, with some not being spoken, but rather hinted, the third Hokage asked that Kakashi, Slade, Zabuza, Kurenai, Naruto, Hinata, Shino, and Haku stay in regards to private matters concerning the Wave Country mission. Why does the loser get to stay? I was there too, so why am I not included in this little meeting? Said Sasuke as he had a feeling that he was being left out of something important. It concerns the relocation of Haku and Zabuza and who are the prime candidates to take them in, Sasuke-san. I highly doubt that you want them staying in the Uchiha district. Am I right? Said the third Hokage, knowing the boy wanted very little if any near the Uchiha district of Konoha. Sasuke scowled before walking out of the room, all the while doing the usual brood on how to get stronger. Despite his talk with Kakashi that he had in Wave about training, the young Uchiha still had doubts that the man, who was so lazy before, could actually make him stronger. Sakura was right behind him, trying to ask him for a possible date to put his mind at ease, while Kiba left to tell his family what had happened on the mission, knowing they would be curious as to what took place. That boy has a lot to learn about thinking of others than just him, thought Sarutobi as he now focused on the people currently in front of him. Now that those three are gone, I need to find a way to make this all come together so the council does not oppose my solutions to this situation. As it stands, Momoki Zabuza is wanted by many ninja villages, including the Leaf, for killing its ninjas within its ranks. Not only that, but there is a large bounty on your head by the Mizukage for starting a coup d'etat that you started in order to take the country for yourself. However, from your new look, not everything is as I was officially told, and that there is an unofficial side to this story, said the Hokage, leaning back in his chair, resting his sore and tired back as it was very much need from the constant long hours of paperwork he did. One by one, each of them explained the events as they saw them take place, starting from what Tazuna told them about the elders knowing before about the mission. They then went onto the bridge with Slade knocking away the hidden mist jutsu, and then to when Naruto appeared going psychotic over having Hinata's in his arms at the hands of Haku. Slade then went on to explain how he had made Zabuza a part of Naruto's family in the form of an uncle and second guardian, much to Kakashi's protest. I don't see what the problem is. I should be allowed to have my father's last name while at the same time having the name Uzumaki as my middle name. That way I can honor both my mom and my dad all in one, said Naruto, was glaring slightly at Kakashi before redirecting his eyes back to the Hokage, who was deep in thought about the whole situation. You have a point, Naruto. However, you will still have to be Uzumaki Naruto until you are at least 16 years old, so the council cannot stop you from legally receiving your well-deserved inheritance when the time comes to claim it. Fortunately, your uncle can give your inheritance to a degree in the form of housing, which would involve your father's estate that also holds scrolls. They all hold different advanced forms of sealing techniques and other personal effects that rightfully belong to you, said the Hokage as he now wrote down the information in regards to the address of the place in question before handing it to Naruto along with a set of keys to the building. Hinata scooted closer to see the address so she could visit more often, only to be shocked when she realized the address that was to Naruto's new home was almost a stone's throw away from the Hyuga compound. He'll be closer to me, thought Hinata as she could almost picture herself running to sneak into his house at night to see him, blushing all the while picturing it. Lord Hokage, if I may ask you a quick question, said Zabuza, snapping Hinata out of her current thoughts and everyone's attention on the former demon of the bloody mist, ninja. Yes, what is the question, Zabuza-san? Said Sarutobi, though he had a good idea what it was going to involve. I need to know where Haku will be staying, seeing as she has no current place to stay while here in Konoha, said Zabuza, who gave the girl a concerned look that did not go unnoticed by the Hokage. That could be tricky since the council is going to be very suspicious if I let her stay with Naruto in the estate with you and Slade. They may see her as someone that will be used to create demon children when they are older. The Hyuga clan elders will use her to breed her bloodline limit into their clan to further strengthen theirs by making a new form of gentle fist techniques. That means staying with you, Hinata, is out of the question. Shino, I know you probably would not mind seeing, as your father would most likely understand if you told him everything from a logical standpoint, said the Hokage, who took out his pipe and took several puffs and letting its addictive nature take hold of him. Correct. My father would not press the issue any further than it should be, as he would understand, though I think we should ask Haku-san where she would like to stay. I think her opinion should bear some weight in this matter before anything is made official, said Shino, knowing that putting the young girl someplace away from the person who raised her for a good portion of her life was not healthy. Well, Haku-san, where would you like to stay? Said the Hokage, looking at the girl, who was slightly looking at Naruto with a pinkish hue on both her cheeks. Hinata noticed this and felt the twinge of jealousy she had before at the academy come back into her tenfold, as she knew what Haku was going to say. No, Naruto is mine, thought Hinata as she pressed her index fingers together with both in anger and worry. To be honest, Lord Hokage, I would prefer to stay with Naruto-san and Slade-san at the Kazama estate with Zabuza-san. Unless, of course, you object, said Haku, who noticed the Hyuga girl looking at her and Naruto before looking forward again. So she thinks I'm going to steal Naruto-kun from her, does she? I cannot really blame her for being suspicious, seeing as I do love the boy. Even though she may have his affection for now, I will win this war between us, thought Haku as she focused with extreme effort in holding back a smirk aimed at Hinata. If that is what you wish, Haku-san, I will see to it that is what happens. In the meantime, I am going let you all get settled in at your new residence with your belongings. Naruto and Slade can show Zabuza and Haku around Konoha so they know the layout of the village that is their new home. Shino, I suggest you head back to your father and explain to him exactly what you were told and experienced during this mission, said Sarutobi, knowing Shino's father would finally have relief on the situation from what Hiashi had told him. Of course, Lord Hokage'll go see him right now. It will also give me time to have some of the bugs inside of me leave the colony they have made inside of me to integrate into the house hive to deliver as well as retrieve information over what has happened since I have been gone, said Shino, who bowed before leaving the room. Hinata, I am sorry to do this to you, but the Hyuga clan elders wanted me to tell you that as soon as you get back you are to face your sister Hanabi. They want to see how you have progressed in a gentle fist training session with her to see if you have been able to become stronger, said a now depressed looking Sarutobi as he felt that the old Hyuga elders were deliberately destroying their clan, and what was worse was they didn't even know it. But I'm tired from TDM mission A and, said Hinata, but she stopped as she could not defy the clan elders no matter how hard she wanted to protest. Hinata, don't worry, I'm sure they want you to be somewhat rested before you spar with Hanabi, as it wouldn't be fair to you and I am sorry to say in some cruel way, to her too, said Kurenai, knowing it gave the girl little comfort, but it was better than nothing. Thank you Kurenai-sensei, said Hinata, though she was more worried that this girl that was Haku with her own bloodline would try more than to manipulate things other than water while she was around Naruto. Damn, and I wanted Hinata-chan with me, seeing as she probably knows more about all the good spots in Konoha than I do, considering people always kicked me out of them for obvious reasons, said Naruto, making Hinata blush red after hearing that her Naruto-kun wanted her to be with him despite Haku being around. If I may interject, I think I have a solution to all of this, said Slade as he saw the sudden transformation of the two girls' face practically swapping with the others. What do you suggest, Slade-san? Said Sarutobi, seeing what the demon lord was seeing as well. It is simple really. Kakashi will go to the Hyuga compound and tell the clan elders that Kurenai is currently teaching her student a meditation exercise to relieve the poor girl of exhaustion. Meanwhile, all of us as a whole take one big walk around Konoha, giving the two new ninjas in the ranks a good tour of the place, said Slade, knowing that the clan elders couldn't take Hinata away from Kurenai during something as important as that. That's actually a very good plan, Slade, and Kakashi will do just that. Also, 2 days from now I want Haku tested on her abilities to see where she stands in rank if she is to be an official ninja of the Leaf, said Sarutobi, who dismissed the group and all, but Kakashi left the room. Lord Hokage, before I do this I need to speak to you more about the mission to Wave Country that I feel I should give without the others present, said Kakashi as he looked back to see the door was shut behind him. Oh, what is it you wish to say about the mission, Kakashi? Said the third Hokage as he found that Kakashi's current behavior strange to say the least. In regards to the mission, while the others have no problem with Naruto being the way he is or how he acted during the mission, I find it rather disturbing that the boy his age would be this way, and I think it's unhealthy for him. Naruto should have the seal redone to cut off Slade permanently from the boy as well as the influence he is giving to him, said Kakashi, frowning when he said the demon lord's name. The third Hokage frowned at Kakashi's words as he found that Slade was nothing if not a positive influence on the boy. I see. From what I've seen, Kakashi, Slade has been a much better impact on the boy than even me in helping him develop his skills. Not only that, but you are one of the very rare few who now know he is the son of your sensei that was the fourth Hokage. So why is it I sense you have some other agenda against the poor boy? Said Sarutobi, looking at Kakashi with his old, but still strong gaze at the man. You know my reasons, Lord Hokage, and they are not directed at the boy, but more as what the boy is containing or Reita was containing inside of him, said Kakashi, as he so wanted to send a Chidori right through the demon lord's one-eyed metal masked face. Still, by directing him at the demon lord you are also indirectly aiming at the fourth son that is your student. I think Arashi would be ashamed of you at being hostile to his legacy, said the third Hokage as he had a sudden urge to summon the Anbu outside and send to 1T specialist Morino Ibiki for re-education, involving the boy. Kakashi remained silent at that, but whether it was a point in the third Hokage's favor or not the old man could not tell, as it was hard to determine when the person in front of you has most of his face covered. I will be going now to take care of my end of the plan for Hinata, said Kakashi as he left in a swirl leaves. Hitaki Kakashi, aside from the village's hatred for Naruto, I fear you will be the fourth Hokage's only failure in life, said Sarutobi as he went back to paperwork. Konoha Streets, 9:30 a.m. Naruto was more than happy to take Haku and Zabuza on a tour of Konoha, and he started with getting everyone something to eat, at Ichiraku's ramen stand. Hey old man, I'm back and I got new customers for you, said Naruto, getting the chef's attention as well as his daughter, who like a good chunk of the female populace missed Naruto. Excellent. My number one customer is back and he has friends to join him this time. Please sit down all of you and I'll take your orders, said the Chuki as he got all the ingredients for all possible flavors for ramen that he had ever made ready. Zabuza, who had ramen only twice in his life due wanting to stay fit, had miso ramen as it was considered the healthiest of them in his mind. Haku had pork ramen as she felt that she had lost a lot more weight than she should have back in Wave Country and wanted to regain it back. Kurenai asked for some herbal tea, as did Slade, though for reasons that were more obvious, while Naruto and Hinata asked for miso ramen with each having a side dish of apple ss. You know Kurenai, I was just thinking, a little later after this would you give me the honor of going on that date with me that we agreed upon back in Wave Country? Said Slade, making everyone's eyes look at the two as if what was said was the craziest thing in the world. Kurenai blushed slightly at his words, as she did not want many people hearing that she was going on a date with anyone. The only person who knew about the date before this was Naruto when she interrupted the young boy's training with the Demon Lord. I had nearly forgotten considering all the events that had taken place. I'll meet you later today near the village square around 2:30 p.m. said Kurenai as she wanted to make sure that Slade would be free from any possible duties. 2:30 it is. I look forward to seeing you later, my dear, said Slade, bowing his head ever so slightly at her, making her blush strength slightly for everyone to see before she left in a swirl of leaves. Aburame clan house at that point in time. Shino was a boy of principles as well as that of seeing things from a logical point of view on any situation. Now he found himself for the first time ever feeling his family's genius in that regard come into question, as his family seemed to have forgotten what it meant to be logical. As soon as he got home, he headed for the house's study that had the foremost information on all the bugs that were both in and outside of Kohona. It was also a place where all the bugs an Aburame have inside him could go to deliver and retrieve any and all information before giving it to its host for future usage. As it stood, his father, Shibi, was in the study with several other clan members sitting in front of the massive 10-foot hive that had been built in the center of the room that had been slowly growing over the years since the clan was first founded. Shino walked up to the hive and sat down like the others, not speaking to them, feeling his bugs should do the speaking for him. He sent out the signal for them to go, and go they did by the droves, as they had much to tell their insect brethren within the massive hive what they had recently experienced. Naruto and Slade did always say during my practicing that actions speak louder than words, thought Shino, as nearly his entire body was emptied of nearly all his bugs, making feel weird as he had never done that before. Shibi and the other clan members were startled by how many of the bugs left Shino, even though it did not show on their face, but just barely. When the passing of information in the study was performed, it was done with the bugs leaving the host body in small, tight formulated groups depending on the experience or how deeply affecting the information is. To see so many bugs in him leave must mean he saw or heard something, either good or bad, or in some way both, thought Shibi as the bugs neared the hive at an accelerated pace, as they seemed to be anxious to get to the hive. When they reached it moments later, the hive was buzzing with activity within it, and for a brief moment, it seemed as if the hive structure was going to shatter. From the buzzing of the insects, even a young Aburame could tell that it was something powerful. Now to see what my father's reaction to this is when he receives it from his own insects, thought Shino as he looked at his father from beyond his dark-shaded glasses. Indeed, it was quite a sight, as the insects that came to his father and the other elders were having different reactions, as they seemed to be paling and sweating. It was almost as if they had been in the battle in Wave Country facing Missing Ninja and seeing what Naruto went through when he thought Hinata had SD. His father's reaction was a surprise to him, as the man was not sweating as much as the other were, as his bugs now swarmed into him. When it was all over, the other clan members left in quite a hurry, leaving only Shino and his father in the room with the hive that was still buzzing with activity from this newly acquired information it received. Uzumaki Naruto is truly an interesting person. If you ever wish to have him over to share in our family dining, or just to show him around as a way to be more of a friend to him, then you have my permission and my full support in the matter, said Shibi, slowly getting up, as did Shino when they returned into his body. Shino only nodded before leaving the room, finding that the end result was just as he had imagined it would be, considering how father has acted. Like father, like son, said Shino as he decided to go out and look for some bugs to add to his colony. Inuzuka clan house at that moment in time. Kiba entered the house more tired than he had ever been in his life, and wondered if all missions higher than C ranked were this tiring. "I'm home," said Kiba, as he wanted to get something to eat before he took a much-needed bath, as he was so out of energy. "Hey little brother, how was your mission? Give me all the details," said Hana, as she was interested in how the mission went with her brother, as she never got a C-ranked mission at Kiba's age. "You wouldn't believe me if I told you, sis, even I have a hard believing it myself," said Kiba, as he then explains to her what happened on the mission from the Demon Brothers to what Naruto when he thought Hinata had been killed by Haku. Hana had been shocked yet awed at what she had heard, to such a degree that she did not notice her other was several feet away from Kiba. She looked scared, as she had heard what her son had just said when he walked in. "Excuse me, I have to go," said Inuzuka as she left in a hurry, needing to tell the other elders what he had just heard. "What's wrong with Mom?" said Kiba, getting a feeling that he'd been out of loop on some piece of information that was needed to piece things together. Hana, for her credit, gave a shrug, though she had an idea where her mother went, as she understood the look on her face better than Kiba did. She probably has something very important to do that she forgot. You know Mom when she forgets things. Now back to Naruto, what was he like without his shirt on? Said Hana, seeing Kiba fall flat on his face hearing that last part. "Sis," said Kiba, as he got up, shocked she would want to know such a thing, as he had tried hard to suppress such a thing from his memory. "What? A girl has to have priorities. Besides, it's not by fault he's a hunk at his age," said Hana as she walked out of the house with two of her dogs while Kiba's mouth now hit the wooden floor hard. Hyuga compound later in the day. Kakashi was a little surprised when he entered the Hyuga compound that he saw several other elders from within Konoha that were not Hyuga. Kakashi was soon led into the room shortly upon his arrival as if they were expecting him, and it was then that he soon realized that nothing got past a Hyuga whether you wanted something to or not. I don't know if I should be flattered to be here or worried, thought Kakashi as he kept his usual lazy look on his face that was a mask within a mask, for him. Welcome Hatake Kakashi, we were all expecting you, seeing as the receptionist outside the Hokage's office contacted us right after you left, said one of the Hyuga elders as he saw the masked Junin look around the dark room seeing who else was at this gathering. I take it that the receptionist being your little spy is to make sure you keep an eye on the Hokage's actions so they don't conflict with your clan. That, and I'm sure you know why I am here to begin with, said Kakashi in a lazy tone as it was more of a statement than a question. You are just as sharp as ever, Kakashi. I'm glad that being a Junin hasn't made you soft since you are not an ABNU ninja right now, said Danzo smiling at the Junin that was once an Anbu captain. Enough of the pleasantries, Danzo-san. Why are you here along with the Inuzukas, the Harunos, the Yamanakas, and several other village council members? Said Kakashi as he felt hair on the back of his neck rise slightly, meaning that something was off. Well, it seems according to our information from several of the other clans that the ever-powerful Kyuubi vessel has become exponentially stronger than we all anticipated. What is more disturbing is that we have heard he seems intrigued with our heiress. Not only that, but it seems that the demon has also taken yet another girl into his clawed hands. The child must not be allowed to procreate and create more abominations, as one of them in Konoha is bad enough. Somewhere down the road, Kakashi, you need to find a way to K the beast or in some way CSPLE him so that he can be ked by others, said Danzo as he leaned back into his chair more. I see. Well, I already promised Uchiha Sasuke that I would train him to be stronger, and I am sure Sakura will not mind, as she will be so obsessive over him to see it. Naruto will not be able to complain as he has Slade as his sensei to teach him, so there should be no problem in that regard. Yes, this Slade is not like most. Tell me, can he be convinced to side with us or will he have to be eliminated as well? Said the Yamanaka clan elder curiously. He's too attached to Naruto, so he will have to be taken out. If he can be taken out, said Kakashi, getting everyone's attention. What do you mean if, Kakashi? I would have thought someone of your impeccable skills could defeat someone like this Slade character, said Danzo as he felt there were only a few people in the world that could match up with Hatake Kakashi in terms of SKS. You would be surprised, said Kakashi, telling him everything from his perspective of what happened in Wave Country with the exception of telling them Slade was Kyuubi and that he was staying at Kazama Estate as he owed the fourth that much. As they reveled in this news, Kakashi turned and left the room, leaving the others in it to conspire with one another, as long as it did not mean going fully against the Hokage altogether. As we suspected and fear, the demon vessel is stronger than we had anticipated even before we heard it from Kakashi, said Hitomi Haruno, as she hated the fact that her daughter was placed with such an abomination. Yes. However, if Kakashi trains the Uchiha in all that he knows and then some, we may have the weapon we need to K the demon boy once and for all, said Chuminazuka as she didn't want the demon anywhere near her daughter, much less her son. Konoha Streets, 2:25 p.m. It had taken some time, but with Hinata's help, Naruto and Slade were able to show both Zabuza and Haku a rather sizable chunk of Konoha. They would have gone through more of Konoha, but they ran into complications, angry villagers. Demon filth, what are you doing back in Konoha? Said one villager spitting on the ground near Naruto while the other villagers sneered in disgust. Zabuza reached behind him to grab his sword when Naruto stopped him, not wanting to produce any bloodshed, not yet anyway. Let them talk and seal their own graves. It will make things all the sweeter in the end, thought Naruto as he continued walking with the group to the Kazama Estates. Where are going, demon? Have you lost your nerve to fight against your betters? You should have been ked when you were born, said another villager who was overweight, who picked up a rock and threw it at Naruto, but the villager's aim was off and instead it hit Hinata in the head. Instantly, Naruto stopped and turned to Hinata, who now had a small trickle of blood run down the side of her forehead as tears filled her beautiful white eyes. Under the normal circumstances, Naruto would not care if a rock were thrown at him, as it was normal with the hatred for Slade and all, but when they hit Hinata, whether by accident or not, his little policy of, no king, was void on the person who had thrown it. Now that was worth it, thought Naruto as he turned to face the fat bastard who threw the rock. His chakra was now blazing in all its glory, terrifying any and all people from moving. Naruto instantly went into action and appeared before the fat-looking man who threw the rock aimed originally at him. You think I'm going to let you get away from hurting Hinata-chan? That I am going to be merciful. Fool. S-pig. Fist of the mortal flame, said Naruto as he a dark fire-covered fist into the man's fat stomach with such force that the man from over 4 simultaneous heart attacks, at once, before the fat man incinerated into ashes. After seeing that Naruto was not going to take crap from anyone, the villagers around him fled out of fear that they were going to be next. Note to self: be kind to all of those close to him, thought Zabuza, glancing at the Hyuga girl who was shocked that Naruto would go so far as to revenge her honor. Naruto reappeared next to her a moment later and started dressing the wound, much to the Hyuga's blushing comfort and one jealous water manipulator that was Haku. She may have won the battle for his affection now, but I will win the war, thought Haku. She was trying to revise the situation before her on how to get Naruto closer to her while living with him. I'm sorry Hinata-chan, my senses only work for me on being possibly hit. Please forgive me, said Naruto, as he did not want her to hate him for his slight stupidity. I could never hate why you Naruto-kun, said Hinata as she felt shocked that Naruto would assume she would hate him for something that a villager did. Thanks Hinata-chan. I think we'll continue this tour another day as we should really see what my new house looks like, said Naruto as they continued to the more wealthy area of Konoha. When they arrived at the address of the estate, they were shocked to see just how huge it was, as it made the Hyuga compound look average in comparison. I had forgotten just how big this place was, said Slade as he had been here before when the 4th Hokage, that was Kazama Arashi, let him stay so he could stay in this house to help the man with his training. Naruto understood what he was talking about, as it was only natural that this place could hold more than one person. If this is the outside, I wonder what the inside looks like, said Naruto, getting an agreeable nod from Zabuza, Haku, and Hinata as they went to the house and unlocked it. Let's go, said Naruto, but was immediately stopped by Slade with hand to the shoulder. Sorry Naruto, but I have to go. I have a date with one Yuhi Kurenai and I'd rather not be late like Kakashi is all the time, said Slade, getting a nod from Naruto before he quickly disappeared in a quick flash of fire. What a sly fox, said Zabuza, chuckling behind his bandaged face as Naruto as well as the others entered the compound. You have no idea, thought Naruto as they went for a tour of the house while closing the door behind them to prevent others from entering. Konoha Village Square, 2:30 p.m. Yuhi Kurenai was a woman who found punctuality in a man to be one of the major pros in a man, just as it was in a normal daily life of a shinobi. When she arrived in the village square 2:30 on the dot, she was surprised he was there for what appeared to be seconds before her. Not only that, he had something behind his back that clearly looked something like flowers, though she was sure he wasn't trying to hide it on purpose. For a demon lord, he sure knows how to hit all the right buttons when dating a woman, thought a very impressed Kurenai as Slade came up to her, bowed, and handed her behind his back a small bouquet of flowers that she never saw before. Now where would a gentleman be without giving the beautiful lady he is with beautiful flowers that represent her perfectly? I grew this batch myself, in case you are wondering, said Slade as the flowers she had in her hands came from Demon World, but they were red like her eyes and had that same dazzling effect that in Slade's mind matched the now blushing female Junin ninja perfectly. Thank you Slade-san. You sure know how to go all out on date, said Kurenai, who after replaying what she just said in her mind could not believe she just said that, as it implied that since he was a demon lord he was uneducated in being with a human being. I aim to please, said Slade as he caught what she meant and saw the reaction on her face that she did not mean it in a cruel way, so he let it slide so his words would smooth out the ruffle she had unknowingly made. They walked around for some time talking about the things they had done other than just king people or demons. Slade even admitted to her that in the past he had only cared to survive when not trying to get what he wanted. Kurenai was surprised the demon lord had a complex code of honor in him, considering that everyone assumed demons were mindless beasts. Slade explained to her that only ED-ranked demons in Demon World were the only real mindless demons, but were generally weak enough for even a human to K. He also went on to tell her that despite the fourth Hokage being as strong as he was under his tutelage, he was only the equivalent of an A-rank demon. While that was an impressive feat in itself, he also went on to tell her that there were demons in Demon World that were even stronger in a level of S rank, much like ninjas were in this world. So you are saying that even though you are the strongest demon around, there is a demon out in Demon World who could rival your power? Said Kurenai as they walked through the village, completely interested in what he had to say. There will always be a demon that is either here or in Demon World that will rival my power or be close to it, Kurenai. Demons live long lives and get stronger depending on how hard they train and whom they fight to achieve that strength. Just as certain missing ninjas rival the cages of all the different villages, said Slade with his hands behind his back. Tell me, what is Demon World like? Said Kurenai as she felt she had to know, seeing as she knew so little about him. It is a place where demons can be demons. We have rules and regulations that make sure that we as demons don't upset the celestial being above the human plane of existence. The same with them, as they only fight when the cause is noble, and seeing as they will only fight when we start one, it's safe to do almost anything we please. As long as it is within the boundaries of the rules we set for ourselves, we have nothing to worry about, said Slade as he ignored the dark figure that was Hatake Kakashi above them, watching their every move. I can't believe she's talking to him. After what he did 12 years ago, she acts as if he is an actual person. It has to be some fox demon genjutsu of some sort that is making her fall for him, thought Kakashi as he observed them walking through Kohono as if they were a couple. Kakashi had already done what the Hokage asked of him in concerns to Hinata in lying to the Hyuga clan elders. Now he finds himself seeing Slade and Kurenai on a date when it should be himself and Kurenai on a date. What was worse was he couldn't stick around to watch, as he had to meet with Sasuke to strengthen the Uchiha prodigy to be stronger than Naruto. Just you wait, Slade. I'll see you get what's coming to you, said Kakashi in a small whisper before disappearing entirely. Did you have the feeling we were being watched? Said Kurenai as she, much like Slade, had sensed the now gone Junin left their presence. Unfortunately yes, but do not fret my dear, as he is gone. No doubt, he's gone to buy one of his cherished perverted books again in order to make up for the ones Naruto and I keep on destroying, said Slade, making Kurenai giggle at the thought. Soon the woman laughed at the image of seeing the feared son of the White Fang Hatake Kakashi's face again should either Slade or Naruto start burning one of his more precious books. Did Arashi ever read those books before or after he met his wife? Said Kurenai as she felt she had to ask. Never, for as long as I had known the man, as he didn't approve of the books as he felt they were meaningless and disgusting. He was always kind and considerate when it came to a woman's heart, and felt to act as a pervert in reading those unnecessary books merely drove women away, not towards you, said Slade as he remembered his friend constantly sending clones to screw up his sensei's book research. Every time Arashi made his sensei angry, the man would try to punch him for it, but the clone would go, poof, before he had a chance. Hikari was lucky to find a guy like that, as it is very rare to find a man who's not a pervert or reads that perverted material, said Kurenai as a non-perverted man was rare for women. In fact, it had been a secret rule among all women everywhere that once a woman finds one, she should try to hold on to one like there was no tomorrow. Naruto is a lot like him in that aspect, so you have nothing to fear in regards to him and Hinata if that is what you are thinking, said Slade as he imagined how Naruto would act around the girl. The female Junin was probably curious about whether or not Naruto had somehow been injected with the pervert bug, as it was called. A name given to it by the women, much to the secret dismay of the Aberrane clan, who felt it was an illogical choice of words to use considering it would make it seem as if they were perverts. That's very good to hear, though from what I have observed so far Naruto has more than one lady interested in him, said Kurenai as she had seen the looks Haku and Hinata had been giving off concerning Naruto. Ah yes, that girl named Haku. Well, he does have to rebuild his clan on either or on both sides of his family. However, I say let the girls argue for now and let them battle it out in their own way to see who will win Naruto's heart. It will make things all the sweeter in seeing their shocked faces when I tell them and Naruto the news, said Slade as he now pictured what Naruto would think of the idea. When are you going to tell him? Said Kurenai, as she would have to possibly figure out how to tell Hiashi the news. In about 3 years, give or take a few months, seeing as he has to know what it means to be loved in that special way. Being all alone for most of his life has deprived the poor boy of what it means to enjoy love in his life. Only recently has he started to express it through Hinata and to some degree Haku. Even I cannot heal all the wounds in his heart and soul as I work only on the physical part of his body, said Slade, sighing at the wounds to the poor boy has suffered. Still, Naruto has made progress in the matter of loving someone, and if he does decide to restore his family's clan, then he will need to have more than one wife. Someone who can hold their own against others while in a tight spot and won't SS easily, said Kurenai as she had seen what Naruto could do when he lost someone he cared for. If he decides to do what needs to be done, Hinata will be the obvious first choice, seeing how it is clear that she has loved him since the moment she saw him in the early years of the Ninja Academy. Haku will naturally be the second, as Zabuza will agree to it without question, seeing as the girl needs to know like Naruto what love is. The rest, well, we'll see if any more come along the way during his adventures and future travels, said Slade as he made a rose appear in his hands in a magical sort of way before placing it in Kurenai's hair, making the female ninja blush. At the Kazama estate 3:30 p.m. None of the group imagined the house being so big in the inside as it was on the outside, as it was clearly apparent that the Kazama had ranged from more than a small family. There were multiple rooms filled with books and scrolls of various sealing forms, along with a rather impressive amount of jutsus. Some of the scrolls ranged from various types of chakra control exercises to powerful sealing techniques or way to strengthen an already weakened or incomplete seal. Dad's family sure did some amazing things. Wonder what happened to all of them. Did they nearly fighting Slade? Thought Naruto as he probed through some more scrolls before looking around more with the others. The kitchen was huge and looked about the size of a restaurant, with a huge fridge as well as cabinets for storing food. From the looks of things, this place is too big for just you, me, and Haku. It's going to need more people here before it feels natural, said a very impressed Zabuza, not noticing that the girls blushing as they felt there was more to those innocent-sounding words than the man let on. Yeah, it is. It's going to be weird getting used to it, all of this. I mean, I have new things to read on sealing and the jutsus my dad didn't learn before he, well, SD, said Naruto, feeling slightly depressed, seeing the place that was once full of people who were family was now empty except for him, Zabuza, Haku, and Hinata. Sorry Naruto, said Zabuza, but was interrupted by Naruto, even though Zabuza felt guilty doing that to the boy, as no one wanted to bring up depressing thoughts when it came to family. No, it's all right Zabuza-san. I just need to get used to it, that's all, said Naruto as he took a deep breath despite the air in the room they were in was still a little bit old. En Naruto-kun, I have an idea, said Hinata as she was nearly had tears in her eyes at seeing the boy she held so much affection for suffer. What's your idea, Hinata-chan? Said Naruto as he turned to her as she blushed in front of him while she pressed her index fingers together. Why don't we go out and see the others? Said Hinata, though she could not help but wonder if her suggestion of an idea was good or bad. You know you are absolutely right, Hinata-chan. Let's go find Shikamaru and Choji so we can catch up on what's happened with them. This way we can introduce Haku to the others and make new friends along the way, said Naruto, smiling at the two of them as they both blushed after seeing it, only to cast the other evil looks behind Naruto, back as they wanted the other gone from sight so they could be closer to him. Why do I get this feeling things are going to go downhill from here with this little love triangle that's been created, thought Zabuza as he felt that there was more on the horizon than just these two girls fighting for Naruto's affection. You three go on ahead, I'm going to stay behind and read some scrolls to improve my skills with justices that involve more than just water. Plus I can get some things for Haku to look at to improve her abilities as well, said Zabuza as he left the three to their own devices, hoping they would not cause too much trouble. If only Kazama Momoki Zabuza were that lucky in this life when he was a missing mist ninja in hiding from the Mizukage. Right now 3 children around Naruto's age from Suna had just entered Kohono with Sand Village headbands on their heads and Kohono streets 4 p.m. The 3 of them looked around to see what it looked like compared to back home. Is there something wrong, Gara? You stopped, said the boy wearing black with face paint on his face, wearing something on his back. Something is here in this village. It's making it restless, said Gara as he now looked around to find the source of its restlessness. It's not going to wake up and try to take over you. Is it? Said the blonde-haired girl of the group, holding a huge battle fan on her back as her face paled at the thought. No Temari. All the same, I want to find the source of the annoyance and if possible, K it to satisfy mother's thirst for blood. You two will come with me. Do you understand? Said Gararas turned, nearly hitting the boy with his giant gourd on his back. Oh, of course, Gara, we would always stick by you, said the boy with the face paint, as he knew what happened to the last person Gara had cared in order to satisfy his ever so sweet mother of her bloodlust. Follow me then, it's this way, said Gara, pointing in a direction near an alley that they were now headed. Kohona streets at the moment. Thank you, Slade-san, for this wonder date. You were a complete gentleman to me and not at all perverted like so many men are these days. I look forward to our future dates together, said Kurenai as they had to cut their date shorter than expected as a messenger bird flew overhead with a scroll telling Kurenai to see the Hokage at once. As do I, Kurenai. Here is a lovely gift for you before we depart. Till we meet again, said Slade, giving her a one-tailed pet fox he summoned to watch over her and be her new pet at the same time before disappearing in a quick blaze of fire. Who knew a demon lord like Slade could be so sweet? Said Kurenai to no one quite in particular, though the little one-tailed fox that was mostly brown fur with traces of white around its paws and tails looked at her with curiosity at her statement. Lord Slade is being sweet. What has been happening between these two? Oh well, orders are orders. From the way this woman looks like she could be the one that Lord Slade has been looking for in a mate. Is she? Thought the fox as the two disappeared in a swirl of leaves to go see the Hokage, wondering what his reaction will be to the fox in her arms. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.